What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Highland Front 9 Shorts. We're doing another putter review with the Simon Line Pixel from Axiom Discs. Just looking at the basic profile, when I held it up to a Sky God 4 in my car, it is a little bit shallower. It's not shallower, it just, from here to there, it drops more drastically than a P2. It drops more slightly. It's more sloped like an AVR. We're gonna throw it today. This is 175 electron firm plastic, and it is 34 degrees. We're gonna see how it flies, put it through its paces, and I hope it's a good putter. I really do. Hole 1, 216, just right there at the bottom of the hill. Wow. Okay. The numbers on it are 2400.5. So, yeah, it definitely was. It was very, very glidey. It went very straight, very far. It is a very point and shoot feeling when you're putting with it, and when you're throwing with it. It's just, it doesn't feel neutral the way a glitch feels neutral. It feels neutral the way a spore feels neutral, where it's straight, pushy, glidey, but has a touch of fade at the very end instead of a touch of flip at the very beginning. Of course, I made all of those assumptions and feelings after 2 putts and a throw, so I want to give a true review when I get to the end. Hole 2, 230, with as straight as it flies. I think I'm just going to try to throw it as flat as I can and hope we get that tiny bit of a fade at the end. Grip lock, straight into a tree, kick it into another tree, kick it into another tree. Yeah, I hit 3 trees in the space of about 5 feet. Okay. Oh, there's so many sticks. Hopefully that's close enough we can make a putt. Right here. And right there. Hole 3, 190. I don't know why I keep throwing in this gap when there is an open backhand hyzer. So I'm going to throw it on the open backhand hyzer, and let's see how true it flies to its line. Well, I think that's why I don't do that, because I don't throw good hyzers and I throw much better anhyzers. Maybe I should stick to the left gap. Yeah. As far as putting goes, it flies very similar on a putt to a P2, like more of a beat-in P2, kind of a straighter P2. But yeah, on a putt it flies very similar to a P2. So Simon going from P2 to Pixel, not too far of a jump. Now, saying that he went from a P2 to a Pixel is not completely accurate, because the Pixel was designed for him after he came to this company. So it definitely is going to have the touches that Simon wants in his disc. So, I mean, it's already flying really well. It's just 34 degrees and I can't really hold on to the plastic very well. But all in all, flies great so far. I'm going to try to throw it on a forehand, even though Simon is much more backhand dominant. I throw both forehands and backhands, and I want to know what it can do. So I'm going to throw it on a slight bit of anhyzer, let it fade over or turn over to the basket. Alright, that was way too much anhyzer. Now, when you look at Axiom and MVP and their overmolded putters, it sometimes looks like it has a bead on the bottom, but for the most part, that's not a bead. It's just where the flight plate meets the overmolded rim. So there's going to be a tiny bit of textural difference. It feels like a minor bead. It feels like a minor bead, but it's not the same. Okay, yeah. I mean, as far as upshot putters, it's great if you're trying to go 80 feet. That's not a true test of the putter, though. Let's try a Hyzer forehand. That Anheuser forehand, it's not that it doesn't come off your hand cleanly. It's that it really does kind of just hold the line you put it on. So if you chop it over on a lot of Hyzer or a lot of Anheuser, it's never going to fight out because it's pretty true to the neutral setting. Hole 5, 230. Let's go on a Hyzer forehand. Let's see if it flips. See just what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with this disc. So, a lot of the other putters that I've been reviewing recently, when you throw them on Hyzer, they flip up and kind of fade out. The Pixel flipped up and just kind of went straight. So, it has torque resistance to not burn over on a forehand, but it doesn't have the stability to fight out of it on a forehand, if that makes sense. Still playing around with it, still learning. Yeah, that was, it actually does, like, when you give it some spin, it does have a lot of glide. I think if that had been a P2, it might have gone in because it was just a little bit too straight and a little bit too high. So P2 is a little bit more stable and a little bit less glidey. It flies really well though. I'm excited to see what it does on the next hole. Hole 6, 260. But it is downhill, so plays more like 200, 230. Pretty much just a straight tunnel shot. I want to throw this flat to Hyzer, not flat to Annie. I have to tell myself I'm throwing it flat. If I miss, I'm throwing on Hyzer, because if I do turn this over, the downhill, I don't think it's going to let it come back. So I'm going to try to throw it flat, maybe a touch of Hyzer. Well, that was more than a touch of Hyzer. I had a little tiny bit of a flip up. Yeah, pretty much just a neutral, goes exactly where you put it putter. Okay. Yeah, I think for someone that spent as much time putting as Simon, it's just going to be a super useful disc for him because I can see the vision, I can see where it's going. I just can't do it, right? I can see what it's trying to do and I can see what it's trying to be. It's just really difficult for me to hit it precisely exactly the same way every time. So I do prefer to have a touch more stability even on my putting putters. Number 7, 217. I'm gonna try my very, very best to try to keep this as level and straight as possible. And I think I'm even gonna fan grip it. Just to kind of, something about the way I hold it when I'm putting. This lower shoulder, the putters that I've been using for a little while have a little bit higher shoulder, and so it fits in my hand just a little weird. So I think I'm gonna try to fan grip it and see if I can get that feeling of the disc. I mean, it's just dead straight. Like, it's straight. It's neutral. It doesn't do anything else. It just goes straight. It's fantastic. $199. Yeah, it's just so straight. There we go. That's what we want. Hole number 9, 203. All in all, Pixel is fantastic. If I wasn't already committed to putting and throwing the P2 this year, this very easily could make the bag. As it is, I'm gonna keep this one around because it's fun to have Simon disc. Throw this one on. Throw this one on a little bit of Annie with a fan grip. Hope it turns over to the right. Oh, I mean it turned, it just had a really nasty kick. Try to close this out then with a run. Simon style, up and over the branch. Back on the fairway. That's why I am not Simon Lizotte. Simon Line Pixel, fantastic disc. Not gonna go in my bag. Possibility for next year. If you have not checked out the Simon Pixel and you want to, go check out another on Asheville. But for now, hope you have a great day. If you go down below and subscribe, you will get these videos notified when they drop. Until next time, guys, see you out on the course. So far.